Good morning, everyone. It's Mich here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and if you are returning, I thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Today I'm going to be doing another page in the Junk Journal July 2024. I am doing the challenge that Meg Journals has set the prompts for, and I will leave a link to her prompts in the description box below. As far as my affirmations go, there was a question, and I'm getting to all my comments, which I love so much. Thank you. I think the comments and the likes are just helping my channel grow, and I just so appreciate that. But today is day 12, July the 12th, and the prompt set by Meg is packaging. And then my keyword for today was calm, and my affirmation is my mind is quiet and my body is calm. So my mind is quiet and my body is calm. So as far as the affirmations go, some of them I found I had already in a book, an affirmation book. I think a couple I probably got online, and then a couple I just modified, ones that I already had or just made it up. So that's kind of where the affirmations come from. So as far as packaging goes, this is probably going to be a longer video. Some of them I've been trying to keep kind of short, but I think this one's going to end up being a little bit long. The first thing I did was I just took some brown paper that came in one of a box of something. It was part of the packaging. And I took my texture paste, so that's raised, and then I used a stencil, and I just lightly put the texture paste through the stencil, and then lifted the stencil up, and then I sprinkled embossing powder on it, and I let it dry. I don't know if that picks it up, but it's kind of sparkly. And then once it was dry, once the texture paste and everything was dry, I then went with my heat gun, and I melted the embossing powder, and it gave it this really kind of cool finish, which is great. If you don't have the embossing powder and a heat gun, you could put glitter, but then it would be really glittery, where this is kind of subtle in the background, which is really nice. So I'm just going to get my background down. So I'm going to put the whole sheet down and just cover up this this page. And get that down. And then the next thing that I used was, again, some brown paper packaging, but it was a bit different than what I had, this brown paper. So we'll just get this down. And then I can cut off any, as long as my page closes. We can cut off any excess. If you are new and you haven't seen the other pages, then there are tutorials for all of them in my Junk Journal July playlist. Alright, and that will close. Yeah. So I just want to trim this edge a little bit. I think it was a pretty good fit. Actually, there's really not much to trim there. Okay. So the other brown paper that I used was this kind of packaging. It's kind of shiny, and I felt it was a little bit durable. And what I wanted to do is just put a side tuck. So I've already cut that out, and I also took some brown paper just to reinforce it. And then I just covered it with washi tape. So you're not even going to see it, but that's what I use kind of for my side tuck there. So I think that goes right to the edge, yeah. So I thought we'll just get that down, and to get that down, I'm just going to use a bit of score tape, just because it really does have a strong hold, and we'll get that down. I have a confession to make. I bought more washi tape online. I think I have an addiction to washi tape, because I don't even have a place to put any more washi tape. So I have to stop buying washi tape. But like all things that you love, I don't know where my pokey tool is. And I guess, you know, it's better than, I don't drink or smoke or have any of those vices, so I guess washi tape is minor when it comes to addictions, but it's just so pretty. So I've got my little tuck spot there now. I'm not exactly sure it's going to stick to that texture piece. I should have probably reinforced it with some glue, but we'll see how it goes. If it pops off, then we'll reinforce it with some glue. And then I've got a little bit of cotton lace that I found in my stash, so I just want to get that down. And it's not quite fitting to the end. Oh well, I could maybe cover that up with something after. So I'm gonna get that down there. And there we go. Fabri-Tac is good for holding lace and fabrics. Okay, and then I had some little beads that I want to put down at the bottom, just to, there we go. Okay, so I like that because this is, my affirmation's going to go on here. And it is a junk journal, so everything's not going to match or be even. And that's another kind of challenge for me, because I do like things to line up and be even. And so a junk journal is just a great release for me. And as far as the calm goes, I've been trying to use, on this page, just colors that I find are calming. Like the pink and green combination I find very calming. Green is an earth color, and it's very calming. So I'm going to put my affirmation kind of going down the page there. So I do want to distress this just a little bit before I cut. I'm going to cut my words, but I just want to make this blend in a little bit with the page in the background. Sometimes you just need to be reminded that just to be calm. My mind is quiet, and my body is calm. And then I'm just going to ink those little sides there. You know, so sometimes just taking a deep breath just does something to relax your body. When we become tense or stressed, we become tense, and we hold our breath, or our breathing, our chest muscles become tight, our ribs. And sometimes just taking that deep breath is a trigger to kind of, excuse me, release things. I just got up. I got up at 5:30, but it's probably 6 o'clock now, I guess, in the morning. And I don't even think I spoke to Chester this morning, so I think this is the first time I'm using my voice. I might have said good morning to him, as I usually do, but we have great conversations, Chester and I. For those of you who are new, Chester's my cat. He's a great orange tabby. He's got some Maine Coon in him, because he's as big as a lion, pretty much. When he runs down the hallway, he sounds like a herd of elephants going. His paw boom, boom, boom down the hallway. Okay, so we've got our background down there. So then I took some envelopes, and I did have a number of the same envelopes. And for this layout, I'm actually making a little folio, but I'm opening it to the left. Okay, if that bothers you, then change it around. But the reason that I'm doing that is because when it's in my side tuck here, I want to be able to see I might trim that just a little bit. I want to be able to see my window, this window. So I think I might just, maybe I'll wait till it's done. And then I just took a book page for the front, and I took 2 envelopes and I just sandwiched them together so that I have a little flap. All right, so I just glued this panel right down on the other one, and then I put my book page. This is one I'd already used. It was in my kind of art scrap thing, and so I thought that we would just start with this one. So what I wanted to do with this is I just want to do a little bit of light background stamping, and I'm just going to use some of my Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to use some of my black Ranger that I normally use. And I have a little bit of scrap paper just here that we'll just stamp off. I don't think I'm even going to use a Stampin' Block, because I just want to get a little bit kind of in the background. I have a couple focal images that I want to use, so I think that if I had just a few. And then for me, just to wipe off my stamps, I have some baby wipes here in my desk. And I'll worry about that after putting that back. And then I have a little script stamp here, because I always like a little bit of writing, which might clash with that. No, I think it just makes the cluster a little bit darker. And then I have a couple label stamps, so I'm thinking that I'll use that. And then put that down there. Maybe one at the top. Okay. And I don't think I was thinking that I would put, yeah, maybe I will, a couple numbers from here. To kind of, I think that's good. I was going to use some of the Distress Oxide, but I don't think I will. But what I am going to use the Distress Oxide for is just a little bit of distressing around my page here. And if I don't usually do a lot of distressing, but I just wanted to do it for this. Okay, and then for my focal images, I have some rub-ons. I got these from Vicky P. And I was thinking this one here, I would like to put on here. Okay, and with rub-ons, gosh, I remember, I still have some rub-ons from like 1990, I think, from Provo Craft. And I kind of thought it had gone out of fashion, but then I'm seeing a lot of, so I was kind of thinking that I would have that cluster. And I'm going to use my, okay, and then you just rub and gently lift it just to make sure it's all adhered. Okay, and then you get that really cute little image there. And then I got this roll of butterflies. So I thought that I would just kind of put that down. And you could keep embellishing it, but I'm good with that. And then this year I went out in the garden and I used my flower press to do a bunch of flowers that were in my garden. So what I thought I would do is I would just get them down on make a little display with some of the flowers that I had. So, and if you don't have, a lot of people don't have a flower press, of course, you can just get a really heavy book and sandwich it in between the book just so that there's the pressure there. And what you want to do when you go out to get your flowers is you want to make sure that it's a sunny day and the dew is dried so that they are relatively dry. Because if it's early in the morning or after a rain, or after you've watered the garden, then they have moisture in them, and you don't want that moisture, because they can sometimes go moldy before they have a chance to completely dry out. So I found in my garden, I found a little bit of these clovers. I have some alyssum in a hanging basket, and I have some of these little in the lawn. I found some of these little buttercups, so I thought that would be cute. And then I don't think I need any more floral, but I have this one here. I find them hard to pick up, so yeah, might as well get that down. And I'm just using a little bit of glue. Okay, then I want to get my image down. Put some of that clover in the background, and then a piece of lobelia. This is lobelia. This purple. It came from one of my hanging baskets too. And I have another piece of the lobelia, and then I had some Queen Anne's lace that was around, so I grabbed a couple pieces of that too. And I have a little pansy, if I can get it. Oops, I think it's stuck in this box. There it is. Okay, and then just to get that down, so I think I'll put that coming this way, coming down like that. That'll be good. Okay, this is kind of fiddly, this part. And you can buy little dried flower kits. You might have some of those already. It's just nice to have a little representation from my garden. My mother loved gardening too. She always had hanging baskets and such. She never really had a vegetable garden. I think I'll leave that off actually. But she always had flowers. It was always important to her, even when money was tight. She'd get bedding plants, annuals, to go around her little beds and hanging baskets. So I guess I grew up thinking that it was okay to spend money on things like that. We always had food on the table, but sometimes it was hard. She was a good mom. We'd get laughing, oh my. We'd get in a hysteric sometimes. And the more you laugh, the more you laugh. It's like I went over, just before COVID, I think, over at my local library. I live in Halifax. They had this, actually I went over just to get some books or something. And so see, isn't that cute? So then I'm just going to tack this down, and I don't really need that much. I had actually kind of traced lightly around there where the window was. And you can't see that at all because I traced it a little bit bigger. So you can't see that outline at all. So I'm just going to tack this down here, like so. That's good. Actually, oops, what I want to do is I want to tack it onto here, because I'm going to put a background piece on there. because I want to use that other page. I thought about sandwiching it together. Okay, so I think that's good. Right about there. Then I'm gonna put that down. This is my background page. And then I'm going to glue this whole thing down. Like so. I don't know if I said, but I use the Almer's glue, but it's the glue all. It's not the school glue. Okay, and then just going to get this page glued down. Okay, so then that's our first page. I am going to trim this up though. This side here. And like I wasn't sure if we would consider an envelope packaging, but you know, in theory it does package a letter or most times a bill. That's why Happy Mail's nice, because it's something that you get in the mail that's not it's not a bill. Okay, so for the back side of this, in some of my packaging, especially some of my craft packages that I get, they are wrapped in this kind of tissue paper. It's not like a dollar store because it's kind of shiny. It's more like I don't know. But so I had saved this from some of the packages that I had received, and I just took my glue. I had got this glue at the dollar store, and it's not good. It's watery. It's kind of slimy. So what I use this for instead is I use it for like a Mod Podge, and it's a lot cheaper because this costs like $1. And I mean, relatively speaking, I think it's this size of a Mod Podge that you can get at the dollar store is more than $1. But anyway, I had this old glue, so I just put it in a pot, and I took my tissue paper and I folded it so that it was about three layers, and then I just took the glue and I glued the layers together, and then I glued on top of it. So it's almost like this oil skin kind of feel. And I thought that with this, I was going to make a little pocket at the bottom. So then this is another way to kind of use your packaging. And it has a cool kind of look to it, I think. So I'm just going to get, and you can decorate the background, the brown paper. For the sake of time, I'm really not going to do that. I want to get that straight. But it's not straight. So if the bottom's straight, that bottom bit, well, it should be straight. It's not. Let me see. I can never cut a straight line. That's why you see me use a trimmer a lot, because my lines are always wonky. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so if that goes down in there into the groove, then we'll cut that piece off. We'll set it aside in case we want it for something else. And then again, I'm just going to use my glue to glue down this as a pocket. Okay. And then we'll just get that down. Get that down. And then we'll have a place to put a little something something once that dries. Okay. And you can decorate this, like I said, you can stamp on it or take a little bit of gesso to kind of whiten it up, splotch it. But like I said, for the sake of time, we'll just keep going. So for this side, this was another envelope that I received. And the page, this here, I don't know, it was kind of cut off. So I want to make the pages all the same. So I'm just going to get some glue down on the background here on this side. and then I'll just lay my panel down and cut it off. Okay, so go right into the crease there, down. Okay, pull it out some. And again, you can distress around there, which I didn't. But once it's dry, I can fold and distress. Just want to make sure I can close it. Yep. And then we can distress in there, in the groove. Okay. So I'm just going to cut the top off there for now. Right. So then on this page, I had some rigid plastic. One thing I got from a fruit party tray, and another thing was from the top of my sushi the other day. Had a clear plastic top, so I've cut the edges off so that it gave me some clear plastic. And with that, I made a couple little pockets. So I thought to get that down. And then these are kind of cool because they're clear, so you can really see, you can put something in the pockets, like, I don't know, some little ephemera, some little stamps or things that you can actually, you'll be able to see it. So hopefully I can close this because I might have put it too close to the groove. And then I just made two, because if you got one, you might as well have two. And then I was thinking I could put that one about there. And then we can put some little things in there. And then that just adds a little different dimension. I did pull out a bunch of washi tapes. So you could take some washi, if you're bothered by seeing just that little tape there. You can always take some washi and just go along your edges. But for now, I think that's good. So then that's that page. And then on the back, I got another piece of that green envelope paper. And I should have filled up my little glue bottle, but I didn't. So I'm just going to use my big bottle of glue, which is cheap and cheerful and does the trick. The thing with this is that you have a little bit of time to reposition something, but it does dry relatively quickly. Okay, so got that down. Oops, I was pressing too hard. Okay. All right. I love little folios. They're so interactive, and you can make little tags and things to go in it. Okay. There we go. So today is Friday. Wowzers. I'm not going to trim that off because I don't care that it's sticking out a bit, but we cut out there, but I did trim that just a little bit. And then I put another piece of that on the back page, and I used some of that packaging that we used on the front as the side tuck. I just I had a square piece the size of my page, and I cut it on the diagonal just to reinforce it. So there's actually two pieces there, just so when I slide things in there. And then I took a piece of brown paper that I had in my National Geographic comes in, and I always save that brown paper just so that I could use it for little projects. And I received I had a bouquet of flowers, and it had that cellophane kind of wrap around it. So I saved that, and what I did with this one is I just took a piece of packing tape, and I laid the packing tape down on it just so that it would give it that strength. And then I just cut out a little side tuck. So this is about the width of it is the width of my packing tape. So I just wanted to get that down. I'm not going to go right to the edge in case I trim the edge. Okay, and then that creates a little side tuck as well. And I like that because it's clear too, so you can kind of see everything that's in the pocket, and I just really love that. And then lastly, for the back page, I've got some more of that National Geographic that I'm just going to get down in the background. And then, as I said, I got some more washi tape, which I'm a little bit, I guess you can say it's my guilty pleasure, because I sometimes do feel guilty about washi tape. So I'm just going to get that down. And in the packaging that my washi tape, one of the packaging that my washi tape came in, there was a little box, and this is my last page, so we can trim that up. So I've taken the box. There was a little window in the box. So here's part of the box. I've already cut it up, but it was this box here, and it had, this was the sides, like so. And I cut the sides off, and I cut the panel out, and I went and I took some of the tissue paper that I had got in some of the packaging, and I just kind of glued it down on the window. And then what I want to do is some of that rigid plastic that I had from I think it was doesn't matter, the fruit tray or something. I'm just taking a little bit of water here just to get my tissue paper off. I could cut that out, but I kind of like sometimes having that jagged edge that when you use the water, it just leaves this little jaggedy feel. Like so. So I kind of like that. Okay. So then what I want to do is just wipe that water. Okay, and I kind of like that feel, so I'm going to leave it. So then I just cut out a little panel to go as a window on the back there. So I'm just going to get that down. And then I'm going to put this on the back cover as a little bit of another little see-through pocket. Okay, and it doesn't, so that's up. So the flowers are going up. So I want to put this way. And then I'm just going to cover that back panel. And then I'm just going to, and again, you can decorate that. Probably should, because I probably won't be happy with it, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to distress. But what I would probably do with this myself is I would maybe just put a little bit of gesso around, do some splatters, maybe do a little bit of stamping. Okay, so then I'm going to put that about there. And then this would be great. You know, you can put a little tag in there, and then you'll be able to see your little tag. Okay, so, oops, of course, I got it upside down. Well, we might have to decorate the back. We might. Let's reinforce that with a little bit of glue. Thankfully, I used a very skinny strip of tape. This was like this thick of tape. If I had to use something heavier, probably would have torn my page. Okay, so this is the up. This is the up. This is up. Okay, and this is up. All right, catastrophe avoided. Right, so there's that. And then I took some of the other tissue paper that came And then in one of the packaging that I had, and this is what you get in the Creative Studio. So I just made a little envelope where you could do a little note card, and you could put that in your little pocket there if you wanted. Okay, and then in part of my other packaging that I got for another bit of washi tape, I don't even know where but it was another box. This was the back panel of the box, and I thought that was pretty good. So I wanted to make a tag for maybe there. So I just want to cut that down just a tad bit. And then I thought that what I would do is I would put it, oops, I want this end cut, right? So I'm going to put this through my punch, and I'm going to pull it through so that the very top is in the punch. I want to make sure it's kind of straight. I can't quite see how much lip I've got there. I got a little bit more. Okay, there. Right, and then I'm just going to punch that, and then it punches a nice little design at the top. And then for this one, I think I'm just going to put a little slot in there. Okay, and then we can put a pull and we can decorate it, but that can go in my back panel as well once that's stuck down. But for now, we can just stick that there. So that's something else that you can do with some packaging. So then one other thing that you can do with some packaging, and then this will fit in our side pocket there, hopefully, is I took some of that rigid plastic that came with it's so hard to see. I don't know if it's laying on my desk somewhere. But you know what I mean, the one that I use to cut these little panels. So I took that, and I took this shape. Well, actually, I could punch it, the thin one, the sushi top, I could punch it with this, but it was hard to punch. So I wouldn't recommend breaking your punch to do that. Just be aware of that. But you can just cut out your template. And then I used it to create a couple little dangles. So on this one here, I just put a clear flower sticker. So it was just clear, and I just put the sticker right on top there, and you can't even feel it. There's a sticker there. And then I just use a bulb clip, and I just added some little material, and I thought I could just hang it kind of off my lace, just to add a little something to my page there. And I thought that was so cute. And then I had a sticker that I just actually put the sticker down, and then I cut around the sticker, and I thought that was another little cute little dangle. And then what I did is I took some paint, and I just kind of went on the background. So I have another little tag that I can put something on the front, which I haven't yet. And then I did this one. So again, I just cut out this little tag, and then I put my little flower and a few bits of material, and then my bulb clip, so that I can clip that on something later. So I thought that was cute to do with your rigid packaging. I mean, there's so much stuff, but I didn't want this to go on forever and ever. So I think that's it. I am going to just do a little bit more distressing, but I don't think there was anything else. And I might decorate my pages a little bit more, so the next time you see this, I might do that, but then again, I might not, because this is an everyday thing, so I got to keep moving on to keep ahead, get the videos out for you guys. So hence getting up at 5:30. It's now, what time is it? It's now almost 7. My alarm's going to go off because I'm usually up at early, but I do set an alarm so that I don't sleep in for work. So I got work today. So I keep meaning to forget to say, though, that I have sent out my happy mail, and so I've sent out some cards that I'm trying to find my little list here in case I say something wrong. But I have sent some cards that I made that Melanie had sent some stamp sets for me. So I've sent Melanie and Chris in the UK. Hi, Chris and Melanie. Shay and Linda in Bedford. I've sent them some cards. So thanks so much for commenting and supporting me. And then some of the Zentangle postcards. I've sent one off to Joy M, Joy D, Lynn in New Zealand. Hi, Lynn, and Carolyn. And then the Turkish map folds, I've sent one to Lisa. There's my alarm. And Nina in Denmark, I think, is where Nina is, Nina. And Debbie, I've sent Debbie off some material. So if you would like to be on the list for some happy mail, I think probably my next mail out will probably be the end of September. I'm hoping for. I might have to trim that a little bit just to get that in there. So if you do want to be on the happy mail, I look back and see people who've commented and supported me, and then I do sort of a random thing. Now, Melanie wasn't random because I wanted to thank her for sending me the stamp sets, but so if you want to be kind of on the list, then my email's in the description below. So please shoot me off an email. If you can't comment, because a lot of people can't, but you have emailed me and we're kind of exchanging emails, I'm okay with that too. I do like the comments on the channel as it does help the channel grow, but I understand not everybody can, sometimes you're watching it, like I sometimes watch my videos on TV, but I can't comment on my TV. So I also have my phone there. So I'm kind of watching it on the television, but I can do my comments kind of on my phone. Just because the TV's nicer and bigger and stuff. But I understand completely. But so I just wanted to get that out there. And until we meet again tomorrow, hopefully, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.